Hi everyone, this is Grio for Nintendo Planet and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Mario Strikers, the best franchise in the world. Actually, it might not be. It might be the second one because I do like 3D Mario's better and 2D Mario platformers and that type of stuff. But anyways, let's get into Mario Strikers, the whole franchise, not just Battle League, a particular game, or Super Mario Strikers on the GameCube, or the Wii edition of it. We're talking about Mario Strikers, the actual franchise. And I want to discuss is how can it expand? How can it get better in the next iteration without stating the obvious, right? Because the obvious is add more characters, add more stadiums, add more items. You know, all those things are the obvious things. These games do need to increase in size. They do need to offer more variety. You know, they need to offer more characters, different type of gear, different type of power-ups, right? You know, but that's normal. That's going to happen. Just like we've seen the evolution with Smash Brothers. Look at the characters. I believe there's like 80 characters in that game, right? Or very close to 80 characters. The biggest roster ever. Look at Mario Kart Deluxe 8 for the Nintendo Switch right now too. Huge amount of tracks. The most tracks ever in a Mario Kart video game, right? So once you get to that point, then it kind of becomes hard to expand. But we're not there with Mario Strikers. Let's talk about Mario Strikers. Let's forget the rest right now. So back to Mario Strikers. What I want to propose is let's just say two innovative changes for the next Mario Strikers game. Let's say 2 years from now, Nintendo releases another Mario Strikers game, right? Whatever the game is called, Battle League 2, which I doubt that's going to be the name, but let's just say they release a new Mario Strikers game. Let's say everything stays the same like Battle League when it comes to gameplay, the movement, the mechanics. And of course, they just add more stuff, right? Let's just say that's kind of what happens. It would be nice, but what I would like to see, and I think many of my striker friends would agree, hopefully, is an innovation to the way that we play it. And that innovation is the goalkeeper. This has been basically overlooked. It has not been a center of attention. It's not something they focused on. So if I take you back down memory lane, back to the Nintendo GameCube, Super Mario Strikers, that's the game that first made me fall in love with this franchise. In that game, we had a different goalkeeper, or goalie, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to use those terms interchangeably in this video. And the goalkeeper in that game is like a green crocodile from the Donkey Kong series, the Donkey Kong franchise of video games, right? His name is Kremlin or Critter. It's either one of those two. I believe some people call him Critter, some people call him Kremlin. I'm not exactly sure the difference, but I've known him as Kremlin when I played the original Donkey Kong games on the Super Nintendo, the platforming games. But just choose your pick. Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna call him Kremlin for now, or Critter because it sounds easier. So I'll just go to Critter. So in that game, Critter is the goalkeeper. There's no Boom Boom. It's just Critter. And then on the Wii edition, which sadly I did not own at the very beginning, I picked it up at the very end. Once it became a bestseller, I think they call it Player's Choice, and it was on sale like for $20. And one of my friends gifted it to me for my birthday, and I played it towards the very tail end of its life. So I didn't really play it too much, to be honest. At that time of my life, I was in a different situation. Didn't really play it as much, but I did play the GameCube one a lot. I have played Battle League a lot as well. And I can tell you about the Wii edition as far as I can remember. Critter was also the goalkeeper. So on Battle League, we have Boom Boom. Boom Boom is a new goalkeeper. He hasn't been featured in any of the previous Mario Strikers game. So that's a good thing. So here's what I'm proposing. Option 1, Nintendo. Let us select our goalkeeper. You give us the ability to select our captains, right, our sidekicks in the previous games, and in this game, much more flexibility where we can choose anyone, right? Anyone can be our captain. It doesn't just, it It doesn't just have to be the captain, right? Like what people would consider the sidekicks in the previous games, they can be your captain now. So what I would suggest is keep that as it is, but allow us to select our goalkeeper. Even if it's only 2 options, I would take those 2 options over no options. Some people would like to have Critter as their goalkeeper. Some people would like to have Boom Boom as their goalkeeper. And let's say they have different personalities, different celebrations. You know how Boom Boom sometimes goes on his knees and starts pounding the floor and crying like a little baby, right? Maybe Kremlin will do something similar just for the fun aspect of it. But let's say they both are just as good or just as bad. Doesn't matter. But it just gives you that variety, right? Ideally, it'll be nice if they add a brand new goalkeeper on the next game and give you the ability to choose between Critter, Boom Boom, or the new goalkeeper. That is option 1, right? The second option, if Nintendo does not give us the ability to choose our goalkeeper, then they should allow us to add gear to our goalkeeper. That would be amazing. Let's say, for example, on the next game, it features Boom Boom as the starting goalkeeper because we've had Critter for the last 2 games. And now on the second game, like the one after Battle League, it could be Boom Boom, and it'll be Boom Boom the last 2 games too, right? Let's just say they follow that pattern and the next goalkeeper is Boom Boom. Give us the ability to add gear to Boom Boom. You give us the ability to add gear to every other player in a roster, except our goalkeeper. Now, if they give us that ability, it will add a new interesting mechanic to the game. The game is going to be played different. Mark my words, it will have a new element and it would be played differently. For example, let's say you choose a gear set for your Boom Boom that is strength oriented, right? So like a muscle helmet and everything else will be strength, right? Then Boom Boom will have the ability to resist being stunned by Birdo or Rosalina. You know those snipers, right? Like that freaking Birdo that I hate, that 23 shooting and 21 technique. Always be stunning my Boom Boom, and he's just dazed and just on the floor, and somebody just gets the rebound and scores. So I'm not saying he's going to 100% never get stunned, but it's going to be minimal, and that's going to be part of the new mechanic of the game. I think that would be amazing because that's a way to kind of counter snipers as well. I mean, of course, play good defense as well, but it could be a great way to counter it as well. It just adds a new variety to the game. So that's the strength element, right? So remember, every plus has a bad sign. Or let me rephrase that. Everything, everything that, like if you lean too much one way, then the other way is going to be undercountered. It's going to be underweight. Like there's going to be something that you're going to be giving up, right? So for example, he's going to be so strong and his wrists are not going to bend backwards. He's not going to be stunned and that type of stuff. But the bad thing is that he's going to be a little slower when it comes to his reaction time. Those fast cross passes from like a 20 Diddy or a 20 Bowser Jr. He may not be able to move into position as fast or react as fast. Maybe his dive, right, from one side of the net to the other might not be as fast either. And he might not be able to save it because he's not as fast. So that's the downside. You have a positive and you have a negative, right? And that's just for the strength gear set. Now let's say we go with a speedy gear set where he pretty much focuses on speed. It means he's going to be able to see cross passes maybe like as they happen or right before, or his reaction time would be so much faster. His diving time would be so much faster. And he's going to be able to save some goals that he wouldn't be able to save before. Now that would be amazing. That's the positive side, right? And now the negative side. The negative side is that he's not going to be very strong, right? So a Birdo, 23 shooting, 21 technique, or Rosalina, or any sniper in general, right? Any character that's built as a sniper will have a field day And it doesn't necessarily mean every shot is going to go in, right? But it basically means that a higher percentage of those shots are going to go in. So it does change the way the game is played. It adds variety. It adds a new element into the game, and that is great. That's a good thing. Yes, it is. It's a good thing. And those are just two pieces of gear sets that we've gone through, right? Now let's say shooting. Let's say for some reason we decide to build our boom boom to be very heavily shooting oriented, right? So that would mean that boom boom can kick the ball from one side to the other. Like whenever somebody kicks the ball and boom catches it, he just kicks it to the other side. It only gets usually to like half field or something like that, and it has no accuracy, right? And it basically goes to half field or maybe slightly above half field. Now this can have various different cool elements to the game. One, there's a few seconds left in the game. Your boom boom could basically throw it to the other side, or and then like seconds run down the clock. They have to get to your side and score. They don't have enough time, right? Now, here is the most interesting part about this thing, giving him high shooting. The possibility of boom boom taking a shot from his side of the field. Like he's not going to be leaving his goalie area, right? He's not going to leave that. But the possibility of him, of you being able to maybe pass the ball to boom boom because he has such a high shooting technique, and he won't be able to move out of his box, but shoot it from there and possibly stun the goalie. That would be pretty cool. Or have those type of abilities. That would add a new variety and element to the game. Now, the downside to that is that he would have no strength, so he will be stunned, right, by a sniper like Berto or Selena and stuff like that. And he would be slow too. So he would basically be affected in those two ways instead of being affected in just one way. If you go with speed, you're affected by, you're basically affected in multiple ways for every build, right? But it's basically pick your poison, which one fits your playing style. Not everyone plays alike. So everybody will have a different type of build that will suit their needs and their playing style. And that goes over three of them. Now, how about the possibility of having a well-balanced boom boom? That would be very cool as well too. One that doesn't get stunted. I mean, not stunted, stunned so much. One that's not so slow, one that has medium accuracy, medium technique, medium shooting, right? So it's very well balanced, kind of like a Shy Guy character, but he will never be the best at anything. He's not the fastest with reaction times. He doesn't kick the hardest. He can't stun the goalkeeper. Like he basically can't do anything well, but very well balanced. There's that possibility too. And then there's different things that you can do with technique, right? And stuff like that. So that is my proposal for Nintendo. And that covers just one of the innovative changes. The second innovative change, and it is tied with the goalkeeper as well. That's why I would like to say it's just one, but technically it is two, is this game, and not just this game, Battle League, but all Mario Striker games are basically heavily favoring the offense. Yes, I'm going to say that again. Every single Mario Strikers game heavily favors the offense. The offense always has an advantage in that sense. So what we need to do is have the ability to possibly counter that. And I've thought of a great way to do this. Now, let's say somebody gets a Hyper Strike and they miss it, right? Like they don't time it properly on the actual lines, and it just doesn't go in, right? Boom boom deflects it. Now, every time they miss one and boom boom deflects it, boom boom becomes playable. He's able to leave his area and he's automatically granted not just 2 items, 3 items, because he's a goalkeeper. And it's basically only going to be an ability that will be used when Boom Boom is able to block a hyper strike. So let's say, Birdo hyper strikes. She misses. So now we have the ability to counter them and make them pay for the damage that they were going to do on us. Score 2 goals, right? So this will kind of give them that thought in their head and be like, should I really go for it? Because now I'm putting myself at a disadvantage. It's going to be a temporarily 5-on-4. And let me explain this. Boom Boom becomes playable for only 10 seconds. So Boom Boom, after the hyper strike is missed, he becomes playable for 10 seconds. You can run from your side of the field to the other side of the field. You have 3 items and you can hopefully charge up a shot and shoot it and make it, right? Or if not, pass it to the open player. I think that would be an amazing mechanic that will basically give all these persons that just stall in hyperstrike something to think about. Like if you miss it, guess what? There's a possibility that I'm going to get a goal. So think about it. Because originally I had a even crazier idea would be Boom Boom becomes playable for 10 seconds. And he has like a star, like, invincibility for 10 seconds. So you could basically go and touch and shoot it in front of the goalie. But I think that would be too easy. I think a good balance would be Boom Boom comes out with 3 items and just runs to the other side. And hopefully you hit anyone that gets close to you with his 3 items and you score. But the downside is that if you somehow get tackled or don't make it to that side, then you're probably going to give up a goal. Most likely. But I would love to see that mechanic go into play. And just to recap my very long video here, I'm just rambling, is I want to see Nintendo give us the ability to choose our own goalkeeper. Critter was the goalkeeper for the GameCube and the Nintendo Wii version of Super Mario Strikers. And we have Boom Boom on Battle League now. So if the next game just had those 2 goalies and it allowed us to choose between Boom Boom and Critter, that would be amazing. I'll be happy with that. But to be honest, I think I would gear more towards having Boom Boom or whatever goalie is in there have gear and introduce those different style of plays where if you build your goalie with strength gear, you don't get stunned, right? Or you get minimally stunned and you can resist those hard shots, right? And don't give up too many shots and don't deflect the ball too many times to the middle. That's what strength would do for your goalie. Speed, you react faster to cross passes and you dive faster. Shooting, the ability to shoot from one side of the court to the other and possibly stun the goalie. And even score sometimes, but it's not going to be very, very effective, very low, but giving you that possibility. That basically makes the game even more crazy, more reckless, more arcadey, if that's even a word. And being able to pull off a last second goal like that, right? Like, hey, Boom Boom, just shoot it out of desperation and boom, it goes in and you're like, goal, right? Like, that would be so amazing. I would love to see that. Let me know what you guys think about my thoughts. If you guys like these ideas, I think they're great ideas. But just let me know in the comments below. Like my video if you guys did like it. Subscribe to my channel if you guys would like to support it, as that does help out. And have a great day.